If your psychological state is connected to your genetics, then you gotta ask yourself, what was the real reason they actually had us in cages? What was the real reason behind Rodney King? And what was the reason for why the sister had to go and retrieve Sarah Bartman's body? So here's one of the reasons why I don't waste my time coming to TikTok talking about racism and cultural appropriation and if she can wear box braids, if she can't, because your psychological state is what's connected to your genetics. When you start to break them down on a cellular level and you start to understand why they do the things that they do, there is no discussion about racism. There is no discussion about systematic oppression, because now we're talking about cellular oppression. So let's talk about the eukaryotic organism, or the eukaryotic cell, because it's your cells that make up an entire organism, right? So when we're talking about a complex cell organism, we're talking about multiple different animal DNA that those animals can't naturally reproduce with themselves. So how did so-called humans, right? Because when we're talking about humans, we're talking about one haplogroup. Everybody is not considered human, and that is the reason why the CIA has us listed as black extraterrestrials. Understand that. They know that we're not humans because we are prokaryotic organisms. We are single-cell organisms, which means it's referring to the function of our cells. With them having animal DNA, eukaryotic plants like celery or cruciferous vegetables cannot naturally reproduce with a fruit fly or a mouse, a chimpanzee, and yeast. These things, and these are not it. Cows, pigs, chicken, all that shit that y'all like to eat, that's what's in their genome. So this is the real reason why they feed it to you, because your psychological state is what's connected to your genetics. They know how to mess with us on a cellular level. They know how to mess with our psyche, because as eukaryotic organisms, they are pheomelanated. This is why when y'all say that they are non-melanated, they have a lot of melanin. It is just pheomelanin. As prokaryotic organisms, we are neuromelanated. So when we look at the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, there is no nucleus. We have no nucleus because it is the neuromelanin. This is the only molecule that is condensed sunlight and can condense UV light. This is why we say sunblood. This is why we say we are the sun in the flesh. This is why the soul doesn't have a U in it. So all these Solani people out here subscribing to all these titles and shit, there is no U in the word soul. S-O-L is sun, solar, because we are neuromelanated beings. A eukaryotic cell is a complex cell organism. Let me show you what a prokaryotic cell looks like. This is a prokaryotic cell. This is a lot simpler than a eukaryotic cell. This right here, this is called the nucleotoid. The nucleoid. Y'all see this? This is where neuromelanin sits. So again, if your psyche is connected to your genome, and here's a colorized photo, right? They put it in color for niggas. This is the real reason why they do, because look, there are multiple different animals speaking for them through one nucleus. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how all that genetic material got into their DNA. Stay tuned.